For the perfect meat and potato combo, visit these steakhouses, where you'll find mashed potatoes that are rich, creamy, and packed with flavor in every bite. At the Keg Steakhouse, the garlic mashed potatoes might not arrive in a literal keg, but they certainly deliver on richness and flavor. Despite the menu's quirky listing of garlic mashed potato in singular form, diners receive a hearty, full serving. Made with red potatoes and served skin-on, this side dish blends rustic charm with a silky texture, punctuated by a satisfying dose of garlic. The presence of the skins adds a subtle bite that contrasts beautifully with the creamy mash, giving it both character and complexity. With 4 of the 6 available accompaniments on the menu made from potatoes, these garlicky mashed spuds need to shine, and they do. Standing out in a crowded lineup of starches is no easy task, but customer praise suggests the Keg's take manages it effortlessly. It's a comforting, flavorful companion to any cut of steak, and memorable enough to compete for the spotlight. One enthusiastic Yelp reviewer put it this way: "The garlic mashed potatoes will keep me coming back to this place. They had so much flavor." And over on Reddit, another happy diner chimed in with this: "These are literally the only mashed potatoes I even like, and I can't get enough of them." Suddenly, the idea of dishing out mashed potatoes by the Keg doesn't seem so outrageous. It sounds downright genius. Morton's The Steakhouse elevates mashed potatoes with their sour cream mashed potatoes, a rich and indulgent dish loaded with sour cream, butter, and heavy cream. The result is a creamy, velvety texture that almost steals the show. These decadent potatoes have a luxurious, silky quality, making them a standout side that could easily be considered the highlight of the Morton's dining experience. As one reviewer on Yelp remarked, "The sour cream mashed potatoes were the only thing that saved the bland steak." It's uncommon for a side dish to steal the spotlight from the main course, but when it does, it's worth recognizing. Morton's mashed potatoes certainly deserve their place at the table, standing out as an exceptional accompaniment. At Serra, Gaucha, Brazilian Steakhouse, garlic mashed potatoes are a given, placed right on the table as soon as you arrive. The plain potatoes serve as the perfect base to showcase the rich, aromatic garlic flavor. Inspired by the Serra Gaucha mountain range in Brazil, these mashed potatoes are as bold and satisfying as the landscape itself. Known for its wine regions, you might consider pairing your potatoes with a glass, but that's up to you. For newcomers to Brazilian steakhouses, the unexpected arrival of garlic mashed potatoes is a pleasant surprise. And as one Yelp reviewer raved, it's a standout feature of the experience. The biscuits, garlic mashed potatoes, and bananas were a big hit, especially with the newbies in our group. Outback Steakhouse's home-style mashed potatoes stand out by embracing simplicity rather than following the trend of upscale, elaborate sides. Their straightforward, comforting recipe has even inspired home cooks to replicate the flavor, showing that Outback truly knows how to elevate potatoes. The secret lies in the ingredients. A rich combination of butter and half gives the mash its creamy texture, while a seasoning mix of salt, black pepper, and garlic powder adds just the right amount of savory kick. This perfectly balanced approach allows the natural flavor of the potatoes to shine through, making each bite both familiar and delicious. Ever come across the phrase pomme puree and wondered what it meant? At its core, it's a luxe term for mashed potatoes. And at Shula's Steakhouse, it's more than just a name. Their version of this side dish is pure indulgence. Velvety, smooth potatoes whipped to perfection and infused with roasted garlic, rich butter, and generous amounts of heavy cream. It's mashed potatoes elevated, and Shula's makes sure every bite reflects that upscale twist. Located at Walt Disney World, Shula's caters to guests looking for something beyond theme park fare, including mashed potatoes that rival the main course. Food blogs like Gluten-Free and Dairy-Free at WDW have spotlighted the dish, noting its compatibility with gluten-free diets. For those who still enjoy dairy, this isn't just a side, it's a statement of flavor and finesse. At Shula's, even the humble potato gets the red carpet treatment, making your Disney dining experience all the more magical. True to their luxurious name, the Chateau mashed potatoes at Del Frisco's Double Eagle Steakhouse deliver refined flavor in every bite. Sitting proudly among the side dish offerings, these potatoes are far from an afterthought. For an extra indulgent twist, guests can opt for Uptown Del's potatoes, an opulent version featuring melted fontina cheese, fragrant chives, and a rich truffle topping for maximum flair. With upscale additions like these, even the most humble mashed potatoes might develop an identity crisis. A dish this refined, paired with a highbrow name, naturally draws attention from those with elevated tastes. One enthusiastic Yelp reviewer gave them their deserved flowers. OMG, these potatoes were cooked perfectly and flavorful. Home chefs aiming to mimic the allure of Del Frisco's Chateau-style potatoes often turn to heavy cream, cayenne pepper, and rustic skin-on spuds. But nothing truly compares to savoring the original at the source. You might expect to see celebrity chef Wolfgang Puck at Wolfgang's Steakhouse, but the name actually belongs to Wolfgang Zwiener, a veteran of the iconic Peter Luger Steakhouse. While there's no star chef sighting here, the mashed potatoes alone are enough to lift anyone's spirits. Creamy, rich, and consistently satisfying, this classic side dish has become a favorite among guests. Regulars know it's a must-order, proof that Zwiener's culinary roots run deep, especially when it comes to steakhouse staples. How creamy are the mashed potatoes at Wolfgang's? According to food blogger What's Stewin', who dined at the Seoul, South Korea outpost, they were smooth enough to deserve a shout-out. The mashed potatoes are extra velvety smooth to the point you could almost consume it with a straw. A Yummy Advisor review praised the airy consistency of the mashed potatoes, likening them to a savory mousse. When food delivers comfort and satisfaction in every bite, it leaves a lasting impression, something these cloud-like spuds clearly managed to do with ease. Fogo de Chão takes its mashed potatoes seriously, especially when paired with top-notch meats. Upon arrival, the Brazilian steakhouse treats you to a fluffy serving of garlic mashed potatoes, alongside house-baked bread, a perfect snack to kick off the meal. For those opting for the market table, an all-you-can-eat buffet, you'll enjoy these creamy mashed potatoes along with plantains and polenta, all served in unlimited amounts. While it's a hefty starch offering for a steakhouse, the combination is a hit with guests. In fact, the mashed potatoes are so beloved they've inspired enthusiastic recipes from fans. A review on DC Outlook describes the garlic mash as luscious, proving that at Fogo de Chão, the garlic mashed potatoes aren't just a side dish, they're a highlight of the experience. When you dine at Firebirds wood-fired grill, don't miss the chance to try their Parmesan mashed potatoes. Creamy and cheesy, these mashed potatoes elevate any main course, proving that great side dishes can shine just as brightly as the entrees. Patrons have been raving about the dish, with one TripAdvisor review even dubbing it mashed potato heaven. The best thing we ate were the Parmesan mashed potatoes yummy. At Firebirds, you can indulge in a family-sized portion of their mashed potatoes for just $15. It's an unbeatable deal, offering an upscale take on Idaho's famous spuds without breaking the bank. When you order mashed potatoes at Fleming's Prime Steakhouse and Wine Bar, get ready for a generous portion that's hard to resist. With a simple yet delicious blend of fresh butter, kosher salt, and herbs, these creamy potatoes come in at about $15, one of the more affordable sides on the menu. For seafood lovers, Fleming's offers the option of topping them with North Atlantic lobster for a more indulgent experience. The texture is a standout, with many praising their velvety, rich consistency. Whether you're snapping a photo for social media or enjoying a romantic evening, these mashed potatoes make a perfect side for any occasion. And while they're great for special events, they're also definitely tasty enough to garner a celebration on a more individual level. While not everything at LongHorn Steakhouse hits the mark, their mashed potatoes definitely do. The signature version combines rich butter, cream, and sour cream to create a decadently smooth texture and full flavor. For those seeking plant-based options, there are recipes that swap dairy for vegan substitutes, allowing everyone to indulge. However, if you're after the classic LongHorn experience, expect a truly indulgent side, packed with all the creamy goodness that makes this dish a standout, rich enough to satisfy even the most discerning tastes. Business Insider spotlighted LongHorn's comeback in 2022, giving high marks to its mashed potatoes, echoing the enthusiastic approval of many loyal diners. One user on X put it this way: "I just woke myself up from a dream about LongHorn mashed potatoes because I was saying, out loud." If mashed potatoes from a steakhouse haunt your dreams, you've clearly found something extraordinary.
I think you may have something here.
Texas Roadhouse doesn't try to dazzle with over-the-top sides, and that's exactly what makes its mashed potatoes a crowd favorite. These aren't gourmet or dressed up with exotic ingredients. They're the kind of no-frills, hearty potatoes that remind people of home-cooked meals. Served with or without gravy, they strike a satisfying balance between creamy texture and classic flavor, making them a perfect companion to the chain's famously affordable steaks. While other steakhouses chase elegance, Texas Roadhouse leans into comfort, and the simplicity of their mashed potatoes proves that sometimes less really is more. Fans on social media have raved about their loaded mashed potatoes, especially when reheated at home for a next-day treat. Reviews across platforms describe them as heavenly, and it's easy to see why. They may not go viral every week, but these humble spuds have earned a loyal following by staying true to the basics and nailing them. The Capital Grille knows how to elevate the humble mashed potato, and Sam's mashed potatoes prove just that. This signature side features red potatoes blended with butter and sweet cream, creating a rich, velvety texture that's both simple and indulgent. With a presentation pretty enough for social media and flavors fit for a fine steakhouse, it's no wonder this dish is a fan favorite. What sets Capital Grille apart is not just the food, but also the generosity in sharing its culinary secrets. On its website, the restaurant offers helpful tips for perfecting mashed potatoes at home. One standout suggestion? Let the potatoes dry out a bit by returning them to the hot pot after draining. This prevents a watery mash. And warming the butter and cream before mixing ensures an ultra-smooth consistency. With these insights, home cooks can come a little closer to recreating the magic of Sam's mashed potatoes themselves.